Check, check. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to, well, instead of watching the grass grow, this has been most of the day watching the clouds flow by. Welcome to the Spirit of EA Friendship World Tour Recreation in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's leg 5. We're going from Miami to St. George's Island. We actually went from just north of Miami and skipped landing at Miami because we really didn't need the extra fuel, and I was in a hurry this morning. It's called poor planning. But we are over water. We're going to be over water for the vast majority of this evening. As you can see, we can't see land anywhere on the VFR map, and that's scrolled all the way up. We did actually get to see some neat islands for a while, and then we went over to the Dominican Republic where we got into some thunderstorms and tried to go a little over them and got into some icing, which is always fun when the plane which doesn't have the icing. Other than that, flight's been pretty uneventful, which is good because I haven't been here most of the time. I just check back every couple hours to switch my fuel tank over to the other side and adjust altitude and check the weather. This flight started 9:30 this morning, and I'm guessing should have three and a half hours left to go. And I'm going to have to turn my Discord off in a second here. I can hear it beeping, and I know who that is. On that note, just about everything's set. If anybody's ever wondering, I do use the Virtual Flight Online Transmitter most days, most flights, so you can see where I'm on that way. You can track me there. If you want to add it up yourself, feel free. And I just said which I've been telling myself to stop saying. That's where we're at today. Should be a good flight. I have a contractor here. I'm doing some landscaping. I'm not doing it. I have somebody doing some landscaping, digging out around the house. Just trying to get things, like I said, about this house, it was falling down. It was a disaster. Hadn't been taken care of in probably 30 years or more. And prior to that, the people who lived here didn't take care of it very well. On top of that, so been neglected for a long time. I've been planting I transplanted a bunch of my grapes over here from my old house. I've been replanting some of my roses. I got whole bunch of new raspberries. I planted some black raspberries that I actually got from the wild here on the property. I just transplanted them to where I could maintain them better, just to get a better crop of black raspberries. So let's spend the day and trying to pack and trying to make sure I have everything because it's first race weekend of the season coming up, and inevitably I'll get there and I forgot something important. The weather at night while I'm staying in my camper is supposed to be a balmy 33 degrees Fahrenheit, between 33 and 37 degrees Fahrenheit all weekend, every night. So that'll be chilly. Right side of the coin, the race car absolutely loves cold air because we're forced to run a restrictor plate. So the colder the air, the more we can get inside the engine and the more horsepower we develop, especially with that restrictor plate. There's going to be a couple of brand new, at least one brand new car this weekend, possibly two. One of the cars is an absolute two-frame chassis, full-blown race car from the ground up. So we're going to have our hands full. I don't know if we'll be close enough to play with him or not. It's supposed to be a third Corvette Z06, so there'll be three of them out there. All pretty close to the same year. But the one that's coming in doesn't have aero, so I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the other two. Especially at this track coming up, because it's a very windy, twisty track. And aero plays a very big role in this track. Looks like we've got a little bit of weather coming up. I don't know whether I want to try to go over it or under it. Icarus just told me a real great way to cheat by put a tailwind on your heading, and when you're over water, just 50-knot tailwind to push along to get to your destination faster. Might actually end up doing that at some point if it looks like we're being held back too far. For some reason my autopilot is not agreeing. It's supposed to be at 13,000. It's at 13.3. I adjusted the barrel and it actually went up even higher. Oh well. Two altimeters, two different altitudes. I'm getting down to 37% fuel. My fuel's leaned way back. You can tell down there. I mean, it's way, way, way back. 28% mixture. Everything seems to be trimmed out well. Plane's flying well. Fuel, not so much. I should still make it. And if I don't, I'm in trouble because there's like literally absolutely no place to land on this flight now. Once we left the Dominican. There is absolutely nothing. Oh wait, it's just an airplane. Hey, look at that. There's nothing till we get to the St. George's Island. That's it. That's where we're headed. I'm hoping my voice holds out. I've been sicker than a dog for almost a week now. Head's still plugged up pretty good. I think I'll wait and see what we get this weather that's up in front of us before I decide whether to go up or down. This plane is capable of, I do believe they say 23,000 feet. I have trouble getting it to climb anything above 18, 19,000. You have to climb very, very slowly to get up any higher. Just an FYI, they did not have oxygen with them on this flight, so they would have never gotten that high anyways. When they flew around the world, and actually when they flew around the world, they had wooden props on the planes. Because they did get caught up in a hailstorm, and when they landed, they had to replace the props on both aircraft. From the hail actually damaged the prop. The planes themselves survived, but the propellers were tore up. Well, some actual real air traffic. Probably all kinds of people going out to these islands on vacation. Way too far off to see. I haven't seen any other players online. I am on USA West server. Oh, Mr. Brett plays. How are you today? It should be morning for you, or good morning. But I don't know. I started this flight before the update, so I don't know if I'm not going to see other players now because you have to have the update to get on, or if I'm still going to be able to see them without it. I don't know. This is called watching clouds grow today, Brett. That's pretty much what we're doing. Tomorrow's flight will be a lot more fun. That airport we took off from. Hey, Dembski, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome to watching the clouds grow. 3.5 hour flight over water. But the airport we took off at to extra. Yeah, that you did a pretty good job of that straight line. That looked pretty good. I think you've done it before. Tomorrow's flight, we're going to be in the Andes. We're going to start that same airport we took off at from your flight. Let's see if this works. Oh shit, wrong button. Oop. I've been good too, darn it. Shouldn't have swore. But we're taking off from that same airport, but we're going north up the valley. And I'm gonna be in this plane just to go. Done the jets, done the low and slow. I need something middle of the road, and why isn't that working? Why, oh why? It's on. Set so everybody can do it. Yeah, we're going to follow that same valley, but we're going to stay down the valley and follow it all quite a ways north up into where it becomes more jungle. Huh, I don't know why that command didn't work. It's on, it's up, it's running. Go figure. Yeah, filling the trench is the easy part. Yeah, I've had a tractor here for 2 days destroying my yard. I have like almost no grass left. Trying to get it leveled back out, and there was one spot there was like 1.5 foot of dirt had worked up on the side of the house where they just neglected it for so many years. It's nice to always have a tractor. I got a nice little tractor at a backhoe I borrowed from a neighbor that had a contractor in to bring in more dirt. Now, is your depth out there because of safety, or is it like up here you got to go crazy deep because of frost? I don't think you have to worry about the frost line like we do up here. Here, everything you bury has to be usually around 9 feet to get below the frost line. 8 to 9 feet, whatever that equates to. But up here, if it's not that low, the frost will cut a pipeline right in half. If there's a rock near it or anything, it will push, and the frost will push rocks around and cut cables right off. I guess this weather's not too bad ahead of us. Yeah, see up here, your water line. My water line to my well is 8 feet. Uh-oh. Oh, I gotta pause you guys for a second. If I can find the right button. Oh. Yep. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you said that. I'm terribly sorry about that. I'm back. My father had his cancer checkup, and I've been waiting to hear the results. And that was my mother, so I have to get that going. The important things in life. My father managed to beat stage 4 lung cancer. And he's been 7 years cancer free as of this year. Hopefully, the scan from the other day is negative as well, and it'll be 8 years. I see. Now I got to try. Now you got me curious how how deep your stuff has to be converted. Oh, it's about 2 foot deep for the electric. Are you doing upgrading the power and sewer and water to your man cave, or are you putting another outbuilding in? Or tell me to go fly a kite because it's none of my business. Oh, I can tell you it's going to be one of those days. Ugh, there we go. Yeah, so did I. I was just asking if you're upgrading your man cave, or if you're putting in a new outbuilding, or if it's none of my business. And my phone, now my text messages are going crazy on my phone. Alright, well, enjoy the rest of your day out there and working in the yard. Hope the weather holds for you. I'm going to be sitting here watching clouds go by. Ah, getting paid to do excavator work this week. Nice. Yeah, I got to go to work on Thursday. I wouldn't give the job up for anything. Don't work very often. Pays very well. Just a hell of a lot of travel. Very nice. It's even better when you get paid to do it. Always good to get paid. I'm in the process of putting in a, I guess here in the States, I don't know if you have it down there, is where they do the clamping. You put up a fancy tent. You put up a tent with nice beds and all this stuff. And I bought one of those showers like you have. I bought the whole kit with the shower, the sink, the whole 9 yards. I'm putting in one of those glamping setups where these people from the city pay absolutely insane money to stay the night in things. They got a contractor putting the gravel down for the tent base. I mean, they're paying anywhere from $185 to $250 a night to sleep in a tent. I'm like, I got 1.7 acres on the river. I'll put up a tent. You can pay me that much to sleep in it. Have at it. Oh, I wish to God I could breathe. Sorry. Sure, I sound horrible. I'm out of Ricola. I'm out of my... almost out of my old-fashioned ones. Yeah, I figure if those city folks want to come up here and spend that kind of money, I'll be more than happy to give them a tent. I guess after this flight I can set it up to start to download and then go to bed. Oh, I don't know if... No, you probably didn't notice the stutter. I had stutter the other day, and I've had it for a couple of days. For the last couple of streams, it's been stuttering when I was spinning around and looking at things, and that was causing crashing too. I went to try a test flight in Switzerland because I have the Swiss mesh, and the game ran like total crap. Total crap. I removed all the meshes from the game. The Iceland, the Switzerland, and New Zealand. I removed all the meshes. I no longer worry about spinning the thing with my mouse. I don't get any stutters in game. I can fly down the canyons. It stopped all the stutters. I'd take the meshes out. Once the meshes are gone, thing runs fine. I tried everything, bumping this setting down, that setting down, figuring it was the settings. I kicked the settings back up now, and everything's fine. There's those damn meshes. Even if I wasn't flying in that area, the mesh was affecting the game. Or the sim. I still sometimes get a slight hesitation stutter when it updates the live weather. Let's hope this next update fixes that. Yeah, I don't have music yet. So far, a lot of the free services, I don't like the music choices. A lot of the paid services want way too much money for what little bit I do with it. Could be, but ever since I took the meshes out, I think the meshes were causing the leak. Because once I took those out, I have not had a problem. For 2 days now, this thing has been rock solid. No issues. It was so bad in Switzerland on the mesh, I couldn't fly at all. It would like stop and go and stop and go and stop and go. You know, I haven't tried it yet. I've been Memski. I've been very tempted to try it because look, it doesn't take a genius to figure out the Google Maps are light years ahead of the Bing Maps as far as age. Like 3 of the racetracks I go to aren't even on Bing Maps, and they're not new. But they're on Google Maps, and I haven't tried it yet. To be honest, I've heard good things. I just they picked Bing Maps because it's owned by Microsoft. That's why they didn't have to pay for it. Owned by their own company. That's why the Bing Maps. I don't know. Like I said, I worry about putting things that aren't official into the game, their sim, just on the. Because every time I modify it, something goes wrong. Like the mesh. The mesh was causing my issues, and that was an add-on. You know, this plane's an add-on, so I guess I don't know. Yeah, but the sim's all about making money. I do think it's interesting Google hasn't blocked people from using them. I actually thought that might happen. But they could just easily block a port. If it was going to the game port, they could just block it and not have an issue, but they haven't. So. Yeah, I wish they'd use Google. I absolutely wish they'd use Google Maps. Say for the most part, Google Maps are a good 5 to 7 years ahead of Bing Maps and cover much more of the world. Covers much more of the world at a much higher resolution. I don't know, maybe the new X-Plane will use Google. Because isn't the new X-Plane 12 going to use pretty much the same similar thing where the entire world is mapped? They use the maps of the world. Doesn't matter on today's flight because we're not going to see anything. Yeah, I'm guessing that. All right, catch you later, Brett. Have a good one, and have fun today. Yeah, I'm thinking X-Plane's probably going to use Google Maps. It would give them that little bit of edge over Microsoft as far as marketing-wise goes. Today it's all about watching clouds grow. Oh, the next flight's long, but it's not as boring. Still got some water to go over, but then we come up on the coast. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It all depends on what the sticker is on it before I pull the trigger on getting it or not. It'll also depend on if it has native VR support. If it doesn't, I'm not going to touch it. These streams are the only time I fly not in VR. Actually, we're going another. Unfortunately, I don't have it on here, but zoomed all the way out. That's all that's left. A couple hours. Probably another 3 hours, give or take. Maybe a little more. Started at 9:30 this morning. I did a pop-up stream this morning, but I started it because I'm not going to sit here for 10 hours on a flight. As much as I want to do every step of this recreation flight, I'm not going to sit here for 10, 12 hours. I put the autopilot on and went out in the yard and did a bunch of work. Yeah. But what I figure I'm going to do with most of the really long flights in this series, I'm just going to do a short film of takeoff, getting started and stuff, and then just do the last 3.5 hours of the flight live. Yeah, I got to check the tanks. Not doing too bad. I got 32% left. I'm going to be yellow before I get there, I think. And it probably wouldn't hurt to switch tanks over. Thanks for that. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I never realized how much of this earth there is absolutely nothing but water. So you're out here trying to fly over it. Going to this whole chain of islands, and then the next flight will be following the coast, so that one won't be so bad. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Got into some thunderstorms right here, and then iced up. That was fun. In the Dominican Republic. So yeah, down to 32% fuel. I should be able to go a lot farther than that. And I mean, yeah, I am trimmed way back. I mean, my mixture's down on like 34%, something like that. 28%. Must have a headwind of some kind. It's fighting me. Yeah, Icarus was supposed to be here, but he went and loaded up and got nailed with the update. So he's gonna be late. He's got to update first. Yeah, I'm thinking I got some headwinds somewhere. Worst case, I'll go as far as I can. Worst case, I can cheat in a little fuel, but I should be able to make it on what I have left. No, I actually started the flight before the update went live. So I might not be able to see the other players if they've updated. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. But the update came out after I was in the air. I'll update as soon as I land. Get that done. So tomorrow's flight. The normal Thursday night flight's going to be Wednesday because I have to be on the road on Thursday. Won't be here. Well, it's an easy flight plan if you want to pop in. Just pop in on top of me and head for St. George's Island. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be fun. Going to the Andes Mountain. I'm going to fly one of the valleys up through. I'm going to fly north and go from where it's the desert mountains up into the jungle mountains. As it transitions from one to the other. Should be pretty fun. I'm going to take the long easy on that one. Been flying jets, been flying low and slow. I haven't taken this on a valley flight yet. Valley flight, canyon flights. I'll have to do. Trying to figure out one near Mexico City for the following week because it'll be on Cinco de Mayo. Only fitting to do one in Mexico. And it looks like there's a giant canyon system due east of Mexico City. Excuse me, I'm trying to catch my breath here. This cold is kicking my butt. Yeah, it's real pretty. And the airport we're taking off from is one of the ones that they've updated. You know, it's a manually updated one in the sim. What do they call them? Starred airports or whatever, that with a star on it. It'll be a fun flight. And then I got on the road. Hopefully I'll get, well, I won't have it by this race, but hopefully by the next race we'll have the 50 subscribers so I can throw some live feeds up from the race. We're close. Only need like another 13. Yeah, I'm hoping. I'll get some video. I'll do some video and post it from there, but I can't do it live, unfortunately. I guess it makes sense to have 50 subs before they let you go live, so you're not just some clown posting weird live stuff. I'm trying to see. Alright, I got two screens. I'm playing on the one that has the chat up on it. I don't know why the Brett thing didn't work. Oops. I don't know why it's not working. It's on. Who knows? The whole thing's probably pissed off at me for being online for this many hours. Like computer fans aren't happy at me running for 10 hours. No idea why that's not working. Wonder if it is worse. Oh no, it's fine. It can handle it. I got lazy. I worked for 30 some odd years in IT. And this last computer, I just called up Alienware and said, I'm not building another one. I called up Alienware, send me a gaming computer. I have no idea why that is not working. It's on. Told it to use it. Oh. Now it's on. Some little tiny checkbox was off. Try that again now that it's on. Maybe. Alright, I give up. I'll get the hang of this streaming stuff eventually. Seriously? Try this one. What the hell's going on with that? I don't know. It hates me. That'll be all electronics hate me. I know there's that heavy cloud layer, but it just seems to be getting farther away. Which is fine by me. I don't want to get into it. Should be good on fuel. Getting closer. Can almost take it in. Can almost see it. One click in. Now I got to decide what next month aircraft is going to be. I told myself I'm going to limit myself to one aircraft a month. Otherwise, I could end up spending way too much money on this. So now I'm trying to pick out next month's aircraft. I really like PDMG. Also, I really like the Grumman Goose, but I don't know how much I'd use it. Also thought about a Hawk, one of the Hawks for doing the canyon flying. And then I thought about the F-35, but I don't know if I'd use that one that much. I find myself rarely using the F-18 because it's a little too fast for some of the flying I do. But I think right now it's down to the 35 and the Goose are my two top contenders right now. Well, I didn't think about the F-15. F-15 or A-10, but I've heard the A-10's not very good. I haven't seen the best reviews on the A-10. Because that was literally built for canyon flying. Yeah, several people have told me that I'm a big fan of the A-10, but several people have told me that it's not any good. At least the one they've got in the sim. Thinking that 737, but man, I suppose I got to learn to do it sooner or later. But the jetliners just tear me up. I'm just terrible at them. Oh, I love the A10. It was probably, my daughter's 21, so probably 18, 19 years ago. I got to see one of the A10s do a live fire. That was insane. They lined up half a dozen old junk cars out of the runway, made one pass, and just literally one pass, one little burr, that quick. There wasn't a piece of that you couldn't find a square foot of those cars that didn't have holes in it. Right through the blocks, it just destroyed them. Absolutely destroyed those cars. Yeah, I worked for a military testing company. We got to go out for one of their big dog and pony shows where they have all the live fire of the tanks and the jets and dropping target bombs. Just the target bombs. They just go down and hit. They don't explode, but they were live firing tanks. And fun weekend. Your tax dollars at work. Ah, hell. They get training hours out of it, so it's not like they're doing it for nothing. Like the people get mad at the military flybys at sporting events. It's like, don't get mad. Those guys have to have so many training hours every year anyway, so might as well get it. Kill two birds with one stone. Do your flyby and get the training hours. Yeah, you know, let the public see you while you're training. It's good for it. Good publicity. I don't know. My house has been crazy the last month since the thing I don't talk about, the war. At least not on here because everybody wants to get away from it. But ever since it started, I'm not far away from a National Guard F-35 base, and they have been training every day just about since it started. Either they're training or the ones going over to Europe stop at this base on the way over. It's like constant F-35s. It's surprising how much louder they are than the F-16s. Because up until last year, they had the F-16s, and then they went to switch to the F-35s last year. I think all these little puffy clouds are going away, and we're going to fly right square into that cloud bank. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Let's see. We started way up here this morning. There, down to Miami. This island was pretty cool. Very shallow, mostly reef style. These chains you can see. Then got into the Dominican Republic. And I haven't seen anything since. Now it's just been sitting here trying to decide what I want for dinner when I'm done. Trying to figure out why that stupid cloud bot's not working. It's on. The commands are on. Games are off. Huh. Heist, huh? I'll have to look at what that is. That might be fun. I have no idea why it's not working. I'm not that good at this stuff yet. I'll figure it out at some point. It's one of those days where you just sit back. I couldn't imagine flying this whole way, because when they flew this back in the 90s, they didn't have autopilot on these planes. Granted, a good plane, once you get it trimmed out, it will stay pretty much right on the heading, right where you got it. But still, they had to hand fly these all the way around the world. Couldn't imagine. It's like a friend of mine had a car that had like 375,000 miles on it, no cruise control. I was like, how the hell did that happen? Yeah, some of the flights that they flew, that they had added 2 extra fuel tanks to these to finish. Well, 3 extra fuel tanks. The rear seat was converted into a fuel tank, and they had 1 fuel tank on each wing on an external little pylon thing they made. Because there's a flight, I don't know if it's going into Australia or coming out of Australia. It's like 14 hours. And they did it mostly in the dark. Now, that's nuts, because in the dark over the ocean, if there's clouds, you can't see anything. You can't see up, down, left, right. And to hand fly for that long, at least there was 2 planes, so you could at least look and see the lights of the other planes. You had something to look at. At least these clouds, I got something to look at now. I must have some wind, because I'm not right on the line. I gotta be fighting some wind. Unfortunately, this autopilot doesn't tell me. It doesn't have a wind direction on it. You're doing a good speed. I mean, this thing, 166 across the ground is good for this thing. But it has no wind indicator. It also doesn't actually have approach mode or any others. The only thing that works is your altitude, your nav, and your heading. and altitude set. He does still work on it occasionally because the landing lights is new. The latest update. This thing didn't used to have landing lights. Let's see what this weather's going to look like. Be a lot more fuel efficient to go over it. We'll see where it tops out at. And I'm going to have to get some sort of ship mod just so I can see stuff on the ocean. I got to do too many of these long over ocean flights. Oh, there's Icarus. Hey, he made it. Just spun around and there he is, climbing up. There's he going down. He's climbing. Here he comes. Well, it's good to know I can still see other people, even though I haven't updated yet. Yeah, I definitely got to get one of the ship mods. These oceans are boring. I think we're good on the cloud height for now. Turn back and wait, watch him come in. Didn't think I was going to turn around and look for him. That's what he's trying to sneak in. Oh, yuck. That's what I figured. It's going to be about 8 or 12. Lovely. So I got to look forward to after I'm done. I was farting around today and looking at my statistics, and you know, I've only got just over 300 hours flying in this. Don't want the ship mod or the update. But I was looking, I got 300 hours in this, a little over 300 hours flying in this. I'm gonna creep up on 500 pretty soon. But I almost died when I saw how many hours I have in that stupid Lego game. Lego Star Wars. Holy crap. I've got like almost 60 some hours in that stupid Lego game. It's only been out a week and a half or whatever. It's 2 weeks. I got like 60 hours in that stupid thing. It's Terrible. The thing eats time. I couldn't believe I had that many hours. It's a good game. Took a little while to get used to not having the red bricks like all the others. See, that's been happening. That happened to me on Bryce's stream the other day. I started on him, and when I clicked, I right-clicked and started on him, it dumped his flight plan to me automatically. Yep, it's the same thing I did to Bryce the other day, and it copied the flight plan. I'm liking that. Yeah, it's a phenomenal feature. It's going to make popping in late on a flight so easy now. You just load up and set them as departure, and you pick up their flight plan. I'm going to be cutting it thin on the fuel, I'll tell you. I had to been fighting some wind because I started with full tanks, and I should have been able to go another. According to my radius, I had like another 250, 300 miles in reserve. Now it looks like I'm going to be right on the money. I'm going to be on fumes getting in there. Worst case, I can always call for an aerial refueling. Maybe that's why they stopped originally in Miami to take on more fuel, and I didn't stop this morning to do that. That might be my problem. I'm at 13,000 feet. Live time, live weather. I have to be fighting headwinds to burn that much fuel. Oh wait, the island's actually showing up? I think the island's just started to show up on the VFR map. At full zoom. I might just make it. Actually, watching you catch up is more exciting than watching. Rather than just watching plain old clouds. trying to do? Go swimming? What are you down at 500 feet? 500 feet. You're right down in the water. I'd go down low, but I gotta stay up here where the fuel efficiency's better. Let's watch. The weather's going to be... The autopilot keeps getting lower. That's not good. Yeah, over 500 or 5,000? What do you have it set at? Tell you what happened to me flying up. Embarrassing as hell. I was flying in, where the heck was it? In the Andes, up in the high desert in the Andes. It's a great big flat dry lake bed. I took off and turned on the autopilot and it flew right in the ground. Like, what the hell? I have it set for 4,000 feet. Take off, fly right in the ground. Yeah, the runway I was taking off at was at 12,000 feet. So as soon as I hit engage the autopilot, I dive right for the ground. Huh, that's odd. It's probably something to do with that update. Messing with the autopilot, now that's finally working good again. Oh, the cloud's getting worse and worse. I don't even have Discord on. I have it off. Hold on, let me check though. I can pull it up. I shut it off when I'm flying so it doesn't go ding, ding, ding. I see it there. I can even watch it. Holy crap, you're right down playing in the water.
Yeah, I'm dipping down below the waves here. They have an actual spec for how far you've flown below sea level. And this kind of picks up that spec.
Oh, the best way to get that is go to the... Whoa! Go to the airport in Israel. It's like 1,200 feet below sea level. Well, you're now on chat, by the way. I think everybody can hear you.
Hey, well, that works. I can, flying this low on these waves, though, it's hard to reach over and chat.
Yeah, there. Let me see if I can turn your volume up just a tad in my ear. I don't think I can. Yes, I can. Right there. I think. Oh, that shuts it all the way off. There we go.
And I also set a 40 knot tailwind, so I should gain a little ground on you here.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Next time I'm in a long ocean crossing, I'm definitely going to do that. Oh, maybe there's just broken clouds here.
Also, what's nice is they've added the crashing ocean sound when you're this low. You can
Oh,
listen to the ocean.
you can hear the ocean when you're down low like that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that explains why you got those giant waves. You have a 40 knot wind on it.
That's right.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it just gives me something to do on the, when you're a long haul over the water, you can kind of chase the waves, and it's fun. But it's a workout too, hard to chat or anything while you're doing it like this.
Yeah, like flying down the canyons.
I know it's like when a dentist asks you a question and he's got his tools in your mouth, and you're like, I can't answer.
Yeah, I know. Like, oh, that's nice. It's like, what? How did you even know what I said? They have a talent. I'm waiting on insurance companies to deal with some dentist stuff right now. Waiting on approvals.
Yeah, I wanted to add a third bedroom or second bath, and Jesus, just to get a permit, it's the act of Congress.
Yeah, anything deal with any agency these days it takes forever. Well, we could finally see St. George's Island. They're at least on the BFR map. It's funny where I live about 2.5 miles from my parents, and we're in different townships. They live in an unincorporated township. They don't have to do anything. It's like, you want to build something? Build it. They don't care.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, I was looking at my VFR, and oh, we probably got still 70% of where I started to get there. But then you look at that island chain, like, guys, they got a runway on every one of them.
Yeah, it's definitely quite a chain. It goes a long
That's
ways.
that.
I mean,
Yeah, that's the St. George Islands, right?
yeah, and it goes all the way from Puerto Rico, basically. That Puerto Rico all the way down around St. George. One big long chain of islands. Feel I'm on the left tank. I'll let that run down a little more before switching over. I might make it.
Well, I set mine on unlimited fuel because I took a look at your flight plan. And I'm like, Christ, that's a good stretch.
Well, the plane should have easily been able to make it, but I'm pretty sure I've got snared up in some headwinds. I know I've gotten tangled in a couple storms.
Yeah, that 40 knot tailwind I set kind of shifted a little bit, or maybe I changed course because I'm kind of getting a yaw uh, position going there.
My stress level's starting to build. Let's get antsy before the first competition of the year. Like
Yeah, but that's normal in anybody in competition.
yeah, Yeah, it's always the first one. The first one's because the car has gone through. The car literally has a whole new shock system that I have to learn. I have 1 day of testing on the car, and it just so much has been redone on the car. I mean, it's all still the same car, just other than the shocks.
Yeah, now that you're going to that later this week, right?
Yeah, Thursday, Friday's test day, and then Saturday's qualifying in the morning, race in the afternoon, and Sunday's race in the morning, race in the afternoon. You have 3 sprint races and a qualifier.
Nice. So you're still going to do the Thursday flight Wednesday, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Yep. Then I'm off for another like. Gosh, I'm off for almost like 3 weeks. Off till Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, one of my favorite weekends. I always love that weekend.
Oh, I love it because I don't normally actually work that weekend. That's one of the few races I go spectate at. But it never fails. Usually, like the other day, I don't even buy a ticket anymore because almost every year somebody calls me, "Hey, I'm going to be at Trans Am. I could use a hand."
Yeah,
I'm like,
definitely.
"Fine, buy me a ticket. Put me on the crew roster. Give me my hot pit pass, and I'll come down. I'm there anyways, but might as well get paid for the day or the weekend." That's the interesting thing because the racing world is actually a very small world.
Yeah, I live a mile from Shasta Raceway, and well, on Friday and Saturday nights, you could hear it in my backyard like you're on the track.
Nice. Excuse me.
And then they also set the fireworks off there at the fairgrounds. So July 4th, I get to hear the races, and
And then the firework.
only a mile away, those things are like they look like they're right over the house when they go off.
Oh, that's cool. They set them off here about 10 miles away, so I don't get to see them unless I go out. Yeah, I live in the middle of freaking nowhere.
That's the best place to live. Hey, I'm gonna go into autopilot here for about 10 minutes, and I'll be back on.
All good. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Sit and watch
Yeah, I
the.
kicked autopilot on. Now he wants to climb, and then he's diving back down. I didn't set it. I just when I click AP, if I haven't set it, I always look at it like a altitude hold. It's gonna hold that
Oh, that one
wherever
does.
I'm at.
This one doesn't. This one will
Right
go right
click.
to 000.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this one won't do altitude hold. Whatever you have set on the dial, the altitude it will go to. If it's zeros, it'll go into the ground.
Yeah, it looks like around 500, so he should be pretty good. But I'll be right back.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to make it on fuel. Really, every little island has an airport. This one has 2. Can't tell if that is a volcanic island or if they're flat, like reef style islands, but they look like volcanoes. I guess we'll find out. Oh, they're pretty flat. Should I switch tanks yet? Or go right into reserve on the left? I should probably switch. Oh, a buddy of mine used to work for a gentleman who had a Piper Apache twin airplane. Just got done restoring the engines. Got the plane back. He hadn't passed his physical yet, so he had a kid that was supposed to be flight rated on the multi-engine. Come and take him on a flight around with the plane. They take off, they get up in the air, he shuts the fuel pumps off, and one of the engines shuts down. Instead of turning the fuel pump back on, just trying to start the engine again, the kid panics. But a Piper Apache will fly all over the place with one engine. It's not a big deal. But he didn't do that. So then he sees that there's next town over, where they're heading. The next town over's got a little airport. So he just says, all right, we'll land right there. It's right in front of us. We'll land right there. The kid was in such a panic when he went to land. Never put the gear down. Crop strikes absolutely destroyed those engines. Just built. Absolutely destroyed the plane. So panicky people don't make good pilots. If he'd have kept his cool, he'd have just turned the fuel pump back on, restarted the engine, gone back and landed, and that'd been it. Then he panics, tries to find a place to land, never puts the gear down. Here's a little bit of trivia about Canada. ATC in Canada will, every ATC when you're coming in to land in Canada will remind you to put your gear down. They just give you a friendly reminder. Oh, what a surprise. The closer we get to landing, the worse the weather gets. This is probably a good time for me to actually take a quick pilot's room break. So it'll be fresh for landing.
My autopilot did pretty good. I'm still in the air just above the water. He held it right on the mark.
Alrighty, I'm back. A cup of hot tea. Hopefully I'll have a voice by the time we get there. I hope. Find the right buttons to press. Excuse me. I gotta find out what the VFR map scale is in this thing. I normally have my other mapping program up, so I know exactly how far away I am, but I don't today. So I have no idea how far away I am. I'm thinking once I get past this one cloud right here, I'm going to start dropping down to lose some altitude. I think once I get over this one, we'll go under it.
Yeah, I just kicked off the autopilot. He held real good though, at probably 500 feet. But you know me, I got to be down here at 50.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go under the clouds here. After I get by this one big one, there's a hole up here I'm going to shoot for underneath. Close enough, I'll take it down. 2,000. See if I get underneath some of this. That teeth hitting the spot. Man, was I upset today. We have a local farm stand. Been here for, oh Lord. Oh, it's set on 80 years. They had fresh strawberry fields, great big strawberry fields. They have fresh produce every spring and flowers and stuff like that. They've been here for 80 years. I went to stop. today to grab some fresh honey from their beehives. You can get that unfiltered honey, which is what I like. Doesn't have all that, still got all the pollen in it. And when I got there, the big sign on the door, big sign, it's like nobody's there. I get there, and they've closed permanently. It's like, that sucks.
They're not even planting anything.
They're going to continue to plant the strawberries and wholesale them, but the farm stand is done. After 80 years, been doing it for 80 years.
Yeah, that's horrible. I grew up in the San Joaquin Valley around Modesto, and it was just peaches everywhere. Man, if you didn't have a job, you could pick peaches. But more than the best part of it was going to the little stands and getting them fresh. Oh
Yeah.
my God, they were good.
It's like, I remember, yeah, I have memories of picking strawberries when I was a kid there. I mean, it's been there my whole life. This farm stand's been there, and I've gone every year. You know, they're the first one to have a crop of strawberries. They're so juicy and fresh, and you can pick your own.
You got my mouth watering now.
You know, it was just, yeah, it's just sad to just go by today and see it out there. It's like, shit. They're just going to do the wholesale business. That's it.
Yeah, they probably went under contract with somebody where they have to yield so much.
Well, they've always had a wholesale business anyways. But I think it's the younger generation didn't want to take it over.
Yeah, they could just sell stuff online now, make contract online.
Yeah, exactly. And the younger generation don't have to work as hard.
Yeah, they just send it to an address and they don't got to even leave the house.
Yeah. I am happy, though, that the orchard I've been going to my whole life, there's an apple orchard down the road. They were getting ready to sell it. And the granddaughter said, no, 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 no. This has been in the family for so long. It's not leaving the family. She stepped up, and the grandfather says, only if you go to college and get a business degree. So she spent 4 years getting a big business degree, and she stepped in and took over the business.
That's great, though. That's what tradition's all about.
And the grandfather, she was like, I'm not letting the family business go. She says, no way. She goes, I grew up knowing everybody that walks into this place. I have known. And she goes, there's no way I'm going to look them in the face and tell them we're selling it off to some big company. She says, it's not happening.
Yeah, that's a feel-good story there.
So Grandpa made her a deal. He said, I'll pay for your college. So I'll pay for it. If you want to run the business, I'll pay for it and give you the business if you graduate. Oh, she went to her 4 years of college, busted her butt, came back home, and he turned it over to her. She's running it. Funny, I can remember her being a little kid running around.
Yeah, it kind of makes you proud, though, that, see one of the young ones standing up for the old school,
Well, yeah, like her parents didn't have to work because the place made so much money. They didn't have to work. And she's like, I'm not going to let it go. No way.
Yeah, well, a lot of times college education doesn't guarantee an outcome.
No, he just wanted her to have one in case something happened down the road. She'd have a degree.
Ooh, goddamn, I just had a rogue wave build up in front of me. I damn near didn't get over it.
A rogue wave,
I fell into a pattern of riding them up and down. I look up, and there's just a white wall. Here comes another one.
I'm going to have to go, whoa, that is a big one. Whoa, just missed that one. Holy crap. I don't know how delayed your thing is, but I just watched it. That's pretty wild. I like think of a rogue wave. Every time I hear a rogue wave, I think of, that George Clooney movie.
The Perfect Storm.
The Perfect Storm. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I like setting up these long water flights for a little action. Yeah, it breaks up the monotony a little bit. Keeps you on your toes.
I think I'm going to be on my toes looking right dead ahead of me. Even though losing altitude right dead ahead of me is a giant storm system. Kind of right about where those islands are going to be.
Oh yeah, it'll collect and hang around the islands. They'll build up on them.
I lived in Gloucester, where Billy Tyne was from. I got to know his mother real well because she worked at the Crow's Nest. She still works there.
Oh yeah, yeah, that place is famous. What was that? The lady captain, Linda Greenwald.
Yeah. But Billy's mother still works at the bar at the Crow's Nest. The Crow's Nest is not where it is in the movie. It's a little hole in the wall bar in a brick building, and they don't take kindly to tourists at all because it's fishermen. But when I lived
Yeah,
out,
I get that though. You know that way you're trying to stay with the tradition in the movie, yet you don't want to,
yeah.
you
And
know, I would say overdress it.
when I was out there, I worked on the fishing boats, installing these electronic systems that would combine the radar, the GPS, and the sonar signatures all into one screen.
Oh yeah, the modern.
So you could overlay all the. I mean, you could literally dock your boat at the dock without ever looking away from the screen. Everything was so precise. Or you could drive right out to your lobster pot, find it, bang, right there. So I worked mostly on the lobster boats doing that. So I got to know all the fishermen. And Billy's mother used to think it was a riot that I'd go in there to the Crow's Nest because I haven't had a drink. Even then, I haven't drank in 25 years this year. She'd think it'd be a riot that I would go in and sit down with all the fishermen and only drink soda.
Yeah, I'm that way though. I'm a teetotaler. I quit drinking 40 years ago probably.
Because, the fishermen are a drinking bunch. And here I'd be in there hanging out with them all and not drinking a drop.
I bet the stories were great though. There's always something going on out at sea.
Oh, you hear the stories of this person died, that person died. Or the guy on the longliner that almost died because when they were running the hooks out, one of them caught his shirt and pulled him right into the ocean.
And now that would be scary. I was watching that. What is the other one? They're up getting a crab up north. Deadliest Catch.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the boats were watching this guy tying off the. He was on the side of the boat tying down the. What do you call it? The net? Not the net.
The pots.
cage,
Crab
or the
pots.
pot, yeah. And slips off, and he sees it. So he has a guy get some gear on, and they pulled him out of the water. But shit, that water up there is cold.
Whew, yeah. Well, North Atlantic's cold too. I don't think it ever warms up.
Yeah, go fishing off South Carolina there. There's some warm water.
Oh, you get out in that Gulf Stream, it's warm.
I remember I was down in Florida and went down to the beach, and the sand was so bright I kept sneezing. But as I got to the water, it was like 78 degrees. It was like getting in a bath.
Yeah, the bath water. Yeah, I lived on the west coast of Florida in the Gulf. The Gulf would get up to 75 degrees. It was like insane.
Yeah, my mom's brother lived in a little place called Chattahoochee. I think it's the Panhandle area.
Way down yonder in the Chattahoochee. There's a song about that. The Chattahoochee River. I liked over on the west coast. It wasn't crowded. As far as Florida goes, nowhere near as crowded. A lot more room to breathe.
Yeah, you're like me. I don't like being in tight areas or in the city. I've always been out in the country all my life. And, I'll go to the coast a couple times a year anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's just really funny that I can go to the racetrack and some of the races I'm at, we got sometimes 40, 50,000 people there. I don't have a problem with it. I have people walking by. I let little kids in the car. I like socializing with people. But when I'm home, I don't want to look at my neighbors. I don't want to hear my neighbors.
Exactly. Just like the asshole that drives up my street with a loud stereo. I'm like, come on.
I was probably
You know.
that asshole when I was a kid, though. I had the loud stereo.
Oh yeah.
I was probably that same asshole kid.
Yeah, when I was in my 20s, drove a Camaro, blasted a loud stereo out of the car, and didn't give a shit who liked it.
And I don't know which one was louder, my Firebird's stereo or the Firebird's exhaust.
One thing, they always knew it was you coming.
Yeah, that's the only unfortunate thing when you're in the middle of nowhere. You screw around, the cops knew who it was. You're like, I know that car. Well, it's funny, they all know my Miata. All the troopers know my Miata, except for when they get a new one. And New York State's a two-plate state. My car's never had a...
Two-plate state.
What's that?
What does that mean? Two-plate state, one on the front, one on the rear?
Right, I have to have one on front and back. And my Miata's never had a front plate mount. It was made in the first month of production. It's one of the very first ones ever built. And I'm not going to screw a plate mount on it.
Oh, hell no.
It's as simple as that. And all the troopers know me and just wave when they go by. I mean, it's funny because I was with a friend of mine. We were on the way to a race, and we're going. They had one of the inspection points. They do the roadside check to make your inspections up to date, all that crap. And he goes, "Oh, you have no front plate." I said, "They're not gonna care." Roll up to the guy. He says, "Oh, nice car. What year is it?" Okay, have a good day. They had no care that I didn't have a front plate on it.
Yeah, now do you have the smog laws like California has?
Yeah, but my car's old enough it doesn't have to deal with that. We have the same emissions in New York as California.
Yeah, I think it's 1976 or back. You don't have to have smog.
Well, mine was an import, so I didn't have to have it. And it's a 90. Went into effect in 91. The 91 model year on imports was when the emissions and the airbag went into effect on imports. So I can legally take my airbag out and bypass the emissions. But according to the new New York law that goes into effect in June, they just passed a law that goes into effect in June that you can not put in any aftermarket exhaust system that makes the car any louder than it was from the factory. Car or motorcycle or truck.
Wow, because that's where a lot of guys pick up performances.
Oh yeah, big time. You can change your exhaust, just can't make it louder than the factory exhaust. So that means all those Harleys and stuff, they're gonna have to put the factory pipes on, get it inspected, go home, swap the pipes back out.
That's exactly what we used to do that when we'd get smog. Is we'd pull these and that and vacuum lines, and then after the smog, put it all back.
My previous car, I had one of those. They were talking about a silly car. I had one of the PT Cruiser GTs. The one with the Mercedes.
Oh yeah, they're like that. They're a small SUV, aren't they?
Yeah, silly little PT Cruiser, like a little station wagon. Looks like it was made in the 40s. Front wheel drive, but I got the GT edition, which had the twin turbocharged 2.34 cylinder with the Mercedes transmission in it. Had 245 at the wheel in a little bitty front wheel drive.
Stock?
Stock from the factory.
Oh man, that thing could be pumped up nice.
This thing was like a grandfather's car, and the thing would scream. I literally sold it for more than what I bought it for to a collector. Had a high output turbo on that thing. That thing would just scream, but the torque steer on it was incredible. So much torque, you had trouble going straight when you'd mat it. But that one, I had put a chip in there. It was kind of funky. You take the ODB2 port, that's the factory one, and move it, and put this fake one up there. And the fake one tells them it passes. No matter what they plug in, it tells the state's computer inspection system, oh, this car passes.
What does it measure? The O2 levels?
Well, it measures everything, the whole thing of the car. It'll tell if there's any warning lights, O2 levels, all that crap, where they plug in. Because New York doesn't sniff the exhaust, they just plug in and let the computer tell it.
Yeah.
But I had a fake port. Put the real port up under the dash so you couldn't find it. I had a fake port put on there. When they'd plug into it, the fake port would tell them everything's fine with the car.
And they never caught on to that?
Nah. They're getting paid next to nothing to do these inspections. They don't care. They plug in it.
Yeah, they don't make money on labor. That's just they make money on certificate, basically.
I mean, they get like, what is it, $27 to check a car? And they're supposed to plug it in and pull a tire and all this mess to check the brakes. They're not making any money on that. The only time they make money is if they find something actually wrong with the car. And I like about
they're doing the biannual now. It used to be you only had to have a smog when you first bought a used vehicle, but now it's every 2 years you got to have it.
Florida did away with the inspections altogether. Not just smog, but all inspections. They did away with the safety inspections. All of it because they were finding, they did a test. They took a vehicle that they knew exactly what was wrong with it out to all these, to test all these places, and something like 3/4 of them would hit them with a bill for stuff that wasn't wrong with the car.
Oh man, yeah, they do that. It's like a covert operation here. I've seen it twice.
Well, I had them try to pull it with a friend of mine's car. I just put brakes on. A female friend of mine, I just put brakes on her car. Did it for her on the weekend. Put a new set of brakes on it because she knew it wasn't going to pass inspection. She goes to the dealer to have it inspected. They come out with these ratty ass old brake pads. Your car's never going to pass inspection with these bad brakes.
Holy shit.
So she calls me, and I said, hold on a minute. I called a buddy of mine who was a trooper and said, do you want to meet me over there? I told him what had happened. He said, you want to meet me over there? I've got the receipt for the brakes. And we can look at her car and see there's brand new brakes on it. He said, yep, be right there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gouging people.
Trooper rolled in. I rolled in. So here's the receipt. I just did the job about an hour ago. They're telling her she needs brakes. And showed her a ratty old pair of brake pads. And they didn't have a license to do inspections after that.
Oh yeah, they take that shit seriously. That's fraud.
I don't know. I think I'm dropping down to 1,500. These clouds are low.
Yeah, I'm still down here probably at
They're so low and thick, I can't see the island yet.
Yeah, actually, we're, probably 50 miles out.
We're not too far out. I think I can see it right through a crack in that cloud right there. Maybe.
Oh yeah, you're starting to get a little sunset. I'm looking at your screen now. Boy, some nasty looking clouds you got on top there.
There were some of those in the Dominican Republic. I said I went to go up and over them. I got into them and I iced up. It's like that part
Oh,
was being streamed.
you were on live weather at that time, right?
Yeah, I'm on live weather now too. I'll bet these go right to the water. These are late afternoon storm clouds with fog right to the ground. Excuse me. Oh, there was a bump. That was a big bump. Must be something changed in the live weather.
Yeah, I'm flying with that 40 mile an hour tailwind. It's shaking me all over the place.
You got to be catching me. Where are you? You're not far back there.
Yeah, I could just barely make out your marker lights.
Oh hell, I'm going downhill. My engine's way over revving. Lucky I still have an engine after that. It figures it's just going to be crap clouds when I go to land.
That's one thing you got to remember if you run this. I call it a wind hack, just to change the scenery. But boy, you got to shut that sumbitch off before you try to turn onto a final.
Oh, 40 knot crosswind, blow you right off the blow you right off the runway. Oh, we actually got a real airplane back there. First one of those I've seen in a while. Oh, look at that sunset.
Oh yeah, I got a little more daylight than you got going.
I'm gonna try this. So you'll probably catch up to me. I'm gonna pause it right there for a second. Get my controller to come up.
Oh, that's a beautiful screenshot right there.
As I'm trying to get my controller to come up. Oh, keep default. Yeah, you're gonna see all that. We gotta get that. We gotta get that up a little. What do they say? Right there. Gotta save that one. Okay. There. I can catch up a little bit. I wonder if this thing burns fuel on active pause.
You know, that's a good question. But most of the time, I've got mine in unlimited fuel, so I never have to mess with it too much.
There. Alright, let's get back at this and see what we can see. I see a lot more clouds, that's what I see. 1,500 feet and I still am in the clouds.
Yeah, your clouds look like they're setting right down on the water. Can't tell where the water ends and the sky starts.
And with that reflection, I can't tell if there's land in there. There's not going to be much land. I'm at 18% fuel. I'm in the yellow. I made a
Did you
descent.
start the flight in 100% fuel?
Yeah,
Yeah, for some reason mine always auto starts at 50%.
yeah. I have to go in and kick my passenger out. I always go in and kick the passenger out. That saves 170 pounds, and then set my fuel from there. It is one of the things I wish the game would let you do is set up a default profile for how you like your flights. You know, like one person, two people, a pilot, co-pilot, or just one pilot. 75% fuel. Just let me set that so every time I fly, I've got 75% fuel and one person.
Yeah, they do the same thing in iRacing. Every time I enter a race, I've got to reset every setting that you know, they know how I like it set. I always set it the same, yet I have to reset it every time I go in.
Ugh.
They should have, like you said, a profile save. So you click one thing and it sets it up the way you preset it.
Yeah, you should. There should be like a default, so you can set up a default profile so that say, all right, I'm racing this car. This is what I want every time. It's like, man, I fly this plane a lot. And I'd like to have it at these settings every time I fly. One pilot, not two.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed on this plane you always do is it takes down trim no matter what. It wants down trim.
Oh yeah, you can fill it as full as you want. You still got to nose down at something fierce. And you want to be ready when you turn the autopilot off, because the autopilot sets it back to zero. So as soon as you turn the autopilot off, the nose climbs for the sky. I think I'm starting to see the outline of some land right there. I'm thinking. I'm hoping. They don't have a lot of fuel left.
Yeah, I'm looking at my VFR though. We're not too far out, maybe 25, 30 miles.
Well, we're inside the ATC for this island, so I don't think we're too far out.
Okay, I'm gonna raise up a little bit, hit autopilot. I gotta go wash my hands. Be right back.
Alrighty.
Yeah, immediately went nose open. I hit autopilot.
If you turn it off, it skyrockets right up on you. I can see nothing. Orange. Everything's orange. That's going to be fun landing if everything stays orange. Oh, and it's raining hard here. Now we got orange and rain. Oh, is this fun? Heavy rain, everything orange, and the sun is setting, so it's going to be dark. Running low on fuel. Yeah, we'll be good on fuel. I don't dare turn my VFR map off because it's the only way I know I'm heading actually towards the airport. Yeah. Well, that's pretty. Well, I guess I was worried about it being boring. Not going to be any more. Oh boy. Which way does this runway go? I'll line up off of Amber and then turn in. Well, might get a break. Might be enough break in the clouds here to to find the runway. Maybe.
Okay, my autopilot's been doing pretty good. He's holding it real good.
Well, I'm hoping I can see the runway.
Oh wow, yeah, your screen a lot of orange.
That was completely orange there. It was completely orange and raining like mad a minute ago. Now there's a break.
Yeah, it looks like clouds are down on the water in your screen.
They are. They're all the way down. For a plane that doesn't really have ILS, I'm going to have to land off that little screen on my and hope I come out of it at some point. All right, autopilot, you got to go. Time to fly this bird. There goes pitching up.
Uniform Sierra 1 contact approach on 119.4. Good day.
119 for Uniform Sierra 1. Approach India Charlie Alpha Romeo Romeo Uniform Sierra 1.
Oh, you got ATC on. I was like, man, I'm hearing ATC.
Uniform Sierra 1 approach altimeter 29.9 to continue as planned.
I'm guessing if it's blowing me this far off the center line,
Uniform Sierra 1 contact Piarco Center on 123.7.
I will have to land this direction with the wind.
Yeah, I can't tell if the ATC's on my end or your end. There.
It's on your end. I have it completely turned off.
756, you are 14 miles east. Climb and maintain 2,000 feet. Expect vectors. Visual runway 10 approach.
Uh-oh, my screen's locked up.
Oh no. Oh, I can see the runway. Yes. We have runway in sight.
I can definitely see the islands now. I've been slowing up on you. I can't believe how far back I was. I think I've set a headwind.
That could be. I've got runway in sight. That makes me happy. Just enough of breaking the clouds to see the runway. Now I gotta get this bird to slow down. Check my gear down. Yep. Love the gear down indicator. Look down the hole in the floor. Better double check. No, my gear's up.
Tower India Charlie Alpha
That's
Romeo
better.
Romeo Uniform Sierra 15 miles west, 400 feet to land.
Now it'll slow down.
Make straight in runway 10 Uniform Sierra 1. Clear to land runway.
Yeah, I
10
always forget
Uniform
that gear.
Sierra
I
1.
just now cranked it down.
Oh, what a pretty approach with the sun setting and the clouds.
Oh yeah, but your runway's lit up real nice. Looks like there's a break right there over the airport.
Yep, there's just a hole right here. I can actually see a real commercial flight up there. Ah, that's nice. Get that off there. Don't need that now.
Yeah, I'm finally just behind you here, probably 200 yards. I'd have you look back, but you know what happens. CTD.
I pushed the wrong button. I can't see nothing. Oh shit! Now I got that bug. And I'm off center line now. That's all right. We'll get her down. I got 4 white lights, so I'm not doing too bad yet. Did you just go underneath me? You did.
Yeah, I didn't pull the speed brakes till I just passed under. I got lightning going out. Lightning set I was watching in the background. Yeah, that's the first time I didn't bounce it. She sat down like butter. I come in a little hotter than I should have, but boy, she landed good.
Yeah, once you get the hang of landing this beast, it's not that bad. And it's actually part of landing. It's coming in hot.
Yeah, it does help because usually I'll try to stall flare it onto the runway, and it doesn't work good on this.
No, because when you stall, your nose drops. Because you lose lift over the tail, which is in the front.
That boy, she landed pretty, that one.
I saw it. You're right ahead of me, nice and smooth. Well, come on. Where the hell we get off this runway? Right there. After all that, I forgot to put my landing lights on. Now I can see where I'm going. Oh, that bug is getting worse.
121.9 Uniform Sierra 1.
Why the hell did this thing just suddenly decide it wanted to go for takeoff speed? There we go. All parked. Lights off. Hey, Nemsky, thanks for stopping by and flying along, or hanging out while we flew along, looking at nothing. We'll see you later. See you on the next one. I guess I'm going to have to...
See you, Nimsky, buddy. Yeah, I was hoping we'd get Brett to fly along. He's got the long easy now, but
he stopped by, but he's off working.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you got to get work in now and then. It's not all play. All right, buddy. Thanks for the flight going. That was great.
Yep, thanks for flying along. It was another good one as usual. And we'll see you hopefully tomorrow night. We'll catch you later. Have a good one, guys. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. If you know anybody who wants to subscribe, I need another 13. So